welcome. Nice to have Daisy, a repeat visitor here on our podcast today. And Daisy from the Escrow House, really happy not only for your friendship, but for making this connection with Jaz Gosal. Ooh, I like that. Jaz Gosal from the Power Real Estate Group.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today
Thank
as well.
you for having me, John, and thank you, Daisy, for making the connection.
Of course.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. And, you know, there's a lot of talk about mindset. Everybody's concerned about mindset. You see it all over Instagram, all over, social. This particular topic that we chose is the mindset of a champion.
Mm-hmm.
What sets you and me apart?
Mm-hmm.
And really the purpose of the podcast is to get to know you better.
Mm-hmm.
And we know Daisy, but she's going to share some things too. But we want to get to know you better so that we can not only send you referrals, but the beautiful thing is we'll send a referral, a link to the YouTube and say, this is why you should use Jaz.
Mm-hmm.
You can trust her because this is what sets her apart.
Certainly.
And it works beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna march forward. How's that?
Yeah,
That's great.
Well, tell us a little bit. We'll start with you, Jaz.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into real estate? What did you just wake up one day? I think I'll go sell.
No pun intended.
I didn't even plan that. That just came out.
So it's actually a very interesting story. If I were to go back in time about 6.5 years ago, because that's how long I've been in the business, my previous work experience was very much in social media marketing. So I was working for different startups. I worked for a startup, a cosmetics brand in Irvine, and then I worked for a startup brand in downtown LA, in Koreatown. And I was very infatuated with the idea of working in marketing and being able to climb the corporate ladder. Because at that time, in my early 20s, I thought that would bring me happiness. I was like, if I just do this for X amount of years, I'll climb up the ladder and I'll make X amount of money and I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that for a little bit of time, and I quickly noticed that I'm not happy.
This ladder I'm climbing. No happiness yet.
And there was a lot of pressure because keep in mind they're startups, they're not well funded. So I was hired to do one thing, but I ended up wearing 20 different hats, but still only getting paid for wearing that one hat. And I was fresh out of college. These were, what you would call my first big girl jobs. And I was just very, very eager to get my foot in the door in the fashion industry. So after that, I was having a quarter life crisis, I guess you could say. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I was like, I know I want to run my own business, but I don't know what to do. So I was actually driving through Rancho Cucamonga one random day, and I saw all these new construction signs. And keep in mind, I don't have any family in real estate. I don't have any friends, so I can't say that someone was in my ear telling me to do this. But I was in my car, I'm at a red light, hands on the steering wheel, and I say out loud to myself, what if I do real estate?
Wow.
Just from seeing those signs. And from that day on, the seed was planted, and I couldn't shake it. And one thing about me is I don't make any decisions in haste. I pray on them, I sleep on them, and I was like, I only want this if this is what God wants me to do. So after several weeks, my mind was still set on pursuing real estate. So I was still working that 9 to 5, and I would be on the company time Googling how to become a real estate agent. And I took the leap of faith. I quit that job, and I started my real estate courses. I passed the exam the first time, and that's the story. I've never looked back.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yes. I always say God told me to do it.
That's amazing.
100%.
And I know Daisy is a God-fearing person.
Yes.
My wife and I are too. And incidentally, my wife, Jinmei, I know you're going to be watching this, honey. I love you. She's a professional hair and makeup artist.
Oh, is she?
Yes.
Oh,
she's
wow.
been doing it for, I can't even believe it's been over 20 years now. She doesn't even look that, that's
no,
even
she
possible.
does it.
But
Yeah.
in fact,
She does it. She looks really
there's
good.
my sweetie right there.
Oh, wow. She's beautiful.
I know.
I'll
Aren't
have
they
to
so
hire
cute?
her for some
They're always posting
upcoming
each other. It's
events
so cute.
when I don't want to do my hair.
She's amazing. And, she, very similar, she's been in the business. Like, I think she started off in accounting, right? And realized that the happiness meter was not moving. It's like,
Right.
no. And her mom says, why don't you think about hair and makeup? And she's like, hair and makeup? And she took the leap of faith. And next thing you know, she's been doing it for many years and has a clientele that's just amazing.
Wow.
And so to your story, what resonated with me is you prayed about it,
Yes.
you thought about it, you didn't act quickly,
No.
but you took that leap of faith to leave a paying job
Correct.
to going to basically unemployed. We wake up unemployed almost every
basically
day,
what
right?
it is.
Until we help
Yes.
a family.
Exactly.
Now,
You're right.
give us a timeline. Approximately when was all that? Was that 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years
This
ago?
was, I got licensed in 2019.
Oh,
Yes.
let's talk pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So you took a leap of faith in like the most difficult, challenging time period you could have chosen.
Right, which I didn't know at the time because I didn't know how the market was shifting, right? And I certainly did not know that we were going to be, experiencing something like COVID. What's interesting though, while everyone was selling homes like hotcakes during that time, I didn't have the proper training to be closing. And I'm loyal by default, so I
Sure.
spent way too much time at my first brokerage, and I should have let go a long time. So for the first 4 years of my real estate career, I was very lost.
Wow.
There was no consistent training. The resources weren't there, but I wasn't trained on how to properly utilize them. And it was just, you were pretty much on your own. The top producers, they had a book of business because they've been in
Sure.
the business for decades. They've built that, but for any new agent, there was not a clear pathway on how you get from X to Z. And it was 2022, and I was in a very difficult spot in my life. That entire year, I hadn't done any buy or sell transactions. All I had done in 2022 were leases. And it was towards the end of the year.
On leases, do you guys get paid for leases?
Girl, barely.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Like
we
a couple
don't do
$100.
leases, so,
A couple $100.
Oh.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I was struggling. And my
Wow.
family, they noticed the stress. They're like, Jazz, we've never seen you so depressed. Because we know that stress, on all different levels is just horrific. But the certain type of stress that money brings,
Oh, financial
that
stress is the
financial
worst.
stress.
It
Brutal.
is the worst.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. And they told me so many times, please go back to working a job. You will be, much less stressed.
Yeah.
You'll have health insurance.
Right.
You'll have health
You're like
insurance.
stressed and sick. You're like,
Stressed and sick. Oh my gosh, the life of an entrepreneur. And I was like, no.
Not gonna do that.
Not gonna do
Fight
that.
through this.
There was just something in me because I was like, even though I haven't been successful the last 4 years at the time, I was like, I've enrolled so many people on this journey, and my ego, John, my ego would not let me go back
Yeah.
to working a job. I was like, what do I tell these people?
Mhm.
And
Right.
at the end of the day, we don't owe an explanation to anybody in the world, right? Sometimes not even our family, even though they have our best interest at heart. But I was like, what am I supposed to do? Just stop posting real estate content?
Right.
What do I do? So guess what I did? I took a remote job. I was still posting real estate content so no one would know.
There you go.
I still made it look like I was busy. I worked that job for less than 90 days. And I was like, okay, so now what? So I'm working the job, I'm getting a paycheck, but I'm back in square one. And I took the leap of faith a second time. I jumped off the cliff again. And from then is when I found Power Real Estate Group. I was introduced to the team, and it has been one of the best decisions, hand down, not for my growth, just professionally, but personally. The woman that you see in front of your eyes today is the woman that I've been dreaming to become about
Aw,
for
Jazz.
so many years.
Stop, I'm gonna go.
Get
Not-
the.
I'm not-
Where's the tissue box?
Oh my
You
God.
can't pull that on us without.
I
I must be prepared with tissue.
oh my gosh, it went from A to Z really fast.
Wow.
But I'm just so proud. Like, I am going to toot my own horn because I worked
That's
so
what this is
hard
about,
to
this
become
podcast.
this
Toot, toot,
person.
toot.
Yes, toot, toot, toot. I worked
Yeah.
so hard, relentlessly for the past 2 years, and I have closed more business than I could have ever imagined.
That's fantastic. The mindset of a champion. Your mindset, Daisy?
How did you get introduced to Power? Who introduced you? Or how did you come about them?
So I had someone in my life at the time, and he said, you should go link up with my friend. He's a team lead at Power. And I was just like, I don't know, I was exploring different options at the time. And I was like, I'm going to go explore maybe like 2 to 3 different offices, because that's fair, right? I'm not just going to go jump at the first team.
Right.
Well, I didn't. I only interviewed at Power, and I was just like,
Did you interview with Jose or Jeffrey?
Jeff at first.
That sounds like another story.
I hope he watches this.
I'm sure.
And I left that office that day. It was on a Saturday. And I said, I need to pray on it. I need to sleep on it. So I made sure I was, I had my ducks in a row financially. And that's when I quit that job before the 90-day period. And I came on to Power June 5th of 2023. I know the exact date.
Wow.
At 1:28 p.m. Like, I know the difference it made.
Yes, certainly.
That's amazing.
But it's just, what if in 22 I just stayed at the job?
Yeah.
But when there's something in you, and they say, like, even though God shows you your purpose, that doesn't mean everything's going to be smooth sailing. There's still going to be trials and tribulations, but you know that that's where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And there's a plethora of options for women like you and I in the world to pursue whatever we want, but there's nothing else that I'd rather be doing than real estate.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it is true. What you said just now, as far as, just because you made it in the, like, where you are, there's no, like, you said trials and tribulations. My pastor actually said that this past weekend, like, just because God blesses you with a blessing, it doesn't mean that blessing isn't going to come with its own, war.
Exactly.
Just because God put you on this path and it's like, okay, this is clear what you're supposed to do or where you're supposed to be, it doesn't mean that you're not going to face, challenges or double guess, should I be on this path or not, So I didn't think about that. Like, I thought about it like, oh man, escrow, like December, it's slow, right?
Yeah,
December,
sure.
it's slow. And I'm like, shoot, I'm over here stressing. And I'm like, but it's also a blessing because I still have a job and I still have clients opening and it's still, you know what I mean? So just because I have that blessing, it doesn't mean that there are like little bumps in the road to get to that place,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's so true. And, Daisy, I always think about, you're a master at relationship building. You have worked so hard, not only on social media, but then in person, and it's truly amazing how you connect with people, how you help them to understand, answer all their questions, number one, because this process, as you know, real estate, escrow, lending is frightening to the masses, right? But each of us have a role, it takes a village, right?
Yes.
To help people feel comfortable.
Certainly.
And once they reach that level of comfortability, like you offer to the clients, you are in the front lines, right there at the front line. You take a nervous person, you're like, I got you.
Right.
I got a team. We'll take great care of you, right? So, amazing story and background, how you got
I also
in.
did not know
Leap
that.
of faith.
Yeah.
That's inspiring. Very similar. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but I used to work for a law firm.
Okay.
And I was brought into that law firm. I have no experience, anything, right? I'm a professional beach volleyball referee. It's about it, right? I don't know what I'm doing, in a law office, but he needed someone to manage his properties. He became an investor, and so I'm like, oh, how hard could this be? Probably maybe a monkey could do it. I don't know. And I was the monkey that came in, and I organized his files, all this stuff, and I realized that, man, I'm like a property manager, I guess. And I says, I really want to do real estate. I want to go out and help people. So he's like, well, you can represent me. Why should I use other people when I got you? I said, but I'm not licensed. He said, well, I'll get you licensed. So I got licensed, and I realized that I'm traveling so much with Pro Beach volleyball stuff. I don't have time to do open houses and, take buyers around. It's not a good fit. So I eventually left that position, my position of comfort,
Right.
my insurance, my everything,
Yes.
took the leap of faith. And one of my good buddies, JR, you met JR, he was a realtor at the time. And he says, John, I got to introduce you to Joe, who you met just earlier.
Yeah.
And Joe's like, yeah, welcome to our team. Yeah, you can join in real estate. I said, I want to do real estate. Oh, what do you want to do? I said, what do you got? And he says, well, I was thinking of really ramping up the loan part of our program. Oh, okay, great. So he takes me out. I thought he was taking me to lunch. Not taking me to lunch. He took me across the street into a residential area, and we went door knocking.
Fun.
I hated door knocking, right? No, I love it. And so he broke me into the business, but the whole thing was a leap of faith.
Yes.
To talk about your efforts, and yours too, Daisy. But I had to pray about it. Didn't just jump into it. And I thought, what am I doing? And looking at 13-ish years later, I'm like, it was the best decision I ever made. Helping families and helping people every day. And now we're in Texas, we're in Arizona, Florida. We got Georgia coming online here shortly. So,
Awesome.
yeah, it was the never give up mentality.
Yeah.
Like you said, that thing that's inside of you that
That
says, I don't care
yep.
what anybody says, I'm not giving this up.
But same thing for you, John, too, because just how it was professionally and personally for Jaz, it was also for you, because you and Joe are still good friends till this day.
Absolutely.
You
He's
know?
one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And, he's had to talk me out of the tree a few times. I had to talk him out a couple times, like, we're watching other shops just close up because there's no applications coming in.
Right.
Back in the day when we had the 2% rates and all this stuff, woo, it was great. And after that, silence. That was the time we got busy. Our friends left the business, we got busy.
Yeah.
We're out there pounding the pavement, knocking on doors,
Yes.
Yeah. And we're all still here.
Thank God.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Question for you. So, we talked about having the mindset of a champion. I want to dive just a little bit deeper because this is where the second part of the title comes in, what sets you apart. So, what does having the mindset of a champion mean to you? And more importantly, how does it impact your daily routine, what you do? So maybe just share a little bit of that. And Daisy, I always want to hear your thoughts too.
Yeah, certainly. So to me, having the mindset of a champion, and this could apply to any industry, whether it's real estate, escrow, lending, or, pharmaceuticals, or just law,
Right.
anything, right? I think waking up every day and keeping your why at the forefront, right?
Yes.
We are now in a world where there are so many distractions and temptations.
100%.
Right? I mean, there's certain things I do. Like, I don't take my phone off of D&D prior to, 9 a.m. Because I'm like, I'll be ready for the world when I'm ready. Everything
Yeah.
else can wait, right? That's my little self-care practice. But I think keeping the faith in God, keeping the faith in yourself, keeping, your why at the front, I'm at the forefront of your mind, like why you're doing this. Is it for yourself? Is it for your family? Is it to leave a legacy? Is it for a nonprofit? And really keeping in mind that this, nothing is easy. It's like pick your struggle. It's like working a 9 to 5 is not easy, but being a business owner is not easy. Staying fit is not easy, but being not in shape is not easy.
Yeah.
Being married is not easy. Being divorced is not easy. So it's like pick your struggle and always find a way to bring value to other people.
I love that. And tell me a little bit about, and that mindset obviously has carried you this far and will just keep on catapulting you to the future. What does a typical day look like for Jaz? When you wake up in the morning, you know your why, you hit the ground running. Tell us a little bit about your typical day, a champion's day.
Well, first of all, I'm not a morning person. I'm not
It's
gonna
the
lie.
afternoon.
However, I've been forced to be a morning person because I started training in the morning this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a personal trainer, so I work out with her in the morning. I come back and I get ready for the day, and I plan to be in the office by like 9 or 10.
Okay.
Keep in mind, I'm commuting from Chino Hills to
right.
Anaheim. It's
That's-
it's not down the street by
Right.
any means.
Yeah.
But the first hour and a half is just following up on emails, checking in on escrows, what's going on, what needs my immediate attention, and then I'll sometimes take an extended lunch.
As you should.
An extended lunch. But the rest of the day, like late afternoon to evenings, is for showings, picking up new clientele, and prospecting. I will sit in my seat and I will dial for hours. I'm not afraid of the phone.
Good.
And whether that's, circle prospecting for a new listing that I have, buyers. I also love advertising like new construction through like the relationships I've built.
Yeah,
so
sure.
telling, my database of any new up and coming communities, but constantly checking in, making sure that my clients know that I'm available, and then finding new families to serve.
That's wonderful. And
Yeah.
and through all of that, where do you find all the time for your social media? Your social media is great.
And her
Thank
extended
you.
lunch.
But for example, being here today, I had to time block it because it was important to me. People at the end of the day, we make time for things
That's
and
right.
opportunities that are important to us. So today wasn't, like my typical day, but I time blocked it. And after this, I'm heading back to the office to continue my normal workflow.
Thank you. We appreciate your time block. Really do. And Daisy, you're a champion. You have proven that over and over as well. Tell us a little bit about your day.
I feel like right now I'm kind of going through my personal trials and tribulations.
Mhm.
My normal day-to-day has been a little more not my normal routine.
Yeah.
We recently lost my uncle,
Oh,
my dad's
yeah,
brother.
That's right.
So,
I'm so sorry.
It's been a little bit more difficult for me to kind of get up in the morning.
Sure.
I kind of I think my bed is my safe place. So
Yeah.
every morning I'm just like,
Yeah.
I want to be in my bed where no one hurts me.
Absolutely.
Just want to stay here in a little cocoon.
Mhm.
But I know that if I don't do it, it doesn't get done.
Right.
Right.
I live on my own. I have a dog.
Yes, you do.
So if I don't get up and take her to the restroom,
Mhm.
feed her, no one else is going to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what is keeping me going on my day-to-day is me knowing if I don't get up, literally it's not going to get done.
Mhm.
I'm not going to get a check. I'm not going to close my escrows.
Yeah.
And I've learned last year, when I took that year off when my dad passed, if I'm not following up with my realtors, with my agents, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, they will go somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
No one, I
yeah.
understand, when you're in escrow and you're doing this and that, you don't have time to wait on someone.
Yeah.
You need to get it done.
Mhm.
So I think that's kind of where I know is, no, you have the ball rolling again. You took you some time to get it going again.
Mhm.
You can't slow down.
Yeah.
You
Right.
have to keep it going. So I think me just knowing that, dude, if you don't do it,
Yeah.
Maple's gonna pee in your house. Do you really want to wake up to
But
it?
we can't be mad at her.
No.
That face, we cannot be mad
Never.
at Maple.
Oh my gosh. She
Too
knows.
precious.
She knows.
Oh.
So yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm going through right now. So we're gonna see the light at the end, hopefully soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
God willing, God willing.
So
And what I heard out of both of you, and with you, Daisy, there, extra struggles, is persistence, never giving up. I don't know if you've ever seen that picture. It shows a it's a frog and a snake or something like that, and the frog is the head is halfway down the snake's mouth, but the frog has its hands around the snake's
Oh, yeah.
throat,
Mhm.
right?
No, I haven't seen
It's
it.
it's an interesting. I think it's a snake, but it's anyways two animals.
Uh-huh.
One looks like they're getting swallowed up, but if you look closely, it's not giving up. It has a death grip on
Wow.
keeping their life,
Yeah.
moving. And sometimes life is like that, right? We get thrown curveballs like crazy, whether it's in business, whether it's in personal life, and the champions always figure out a way. And usually what they do is they self-reflect, they'll pray, and then they realize people are dependent on me.
Yeah.
And it starts to make an impact because there's others that just will stay in their own pain.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they've fallen in a mud puddle and you try to help them out and they, no, I'm good, I'll just stay here, right?
Yeah.
No,
Like they kinda like
I'm happy
struggle.
being miserable.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're not like that.
Yeah.
And you're just plugging through. You're doing the best you can for all of us because you realize we all depend on you too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that in itself, that mindset of a champion, is so inspiring to people that will listen as well. I got to say, just from my own perspective, very, very similar. We go through ups and downs, and my wife's had some health issues as well that we're working through right now. But, at the end of the day, she's the strongest person I've ever met.
Wow.
And she just plugs through it. She's a hard worker. And even when I can tell she's standing up and doing, some makeup for celebrities and some other people, she looks like she's not in pain, like she's got no troubles, because that's the mindset she puts on. And I respect that. That really, love you, babe. I respect that in you. Where's my tissue box? So tell me a little bit about, we talked about our daily routines and everything. COVID hit. Right. And there's some things out there, people say, oh, there's long COVID, where I lost my smell, I probably have 80% back. And that was 3.5 years ago or whatever, right? So this long COVID thing, it sounds like it's a reality. But business-wise, Jaz, what adjustments or what pivots did you have to make? And we kind of talked a little bit, but just a deeper dive. What adjustments or pivots did you have to make to stay successful with your leap of faith that you took?
I think, John, for me, the biggest adjustment was the environment. The environment, right? Proximity matters.
Sure does.
Right? So if I'm walking into an empty office every day, where, again, at the previous brokerage, there was no help or anything like that, no guidance, no mentorship, well, where am I going to go? How am I going to build the business that's going to feed me and my future family for years to come, right?
Yeah.
So I immediately figured out that I need to change my environment, which for someone that's loyal by default is very hard to do.
It is.
Holding on for too long, even when it no longer serves you.
And we feel guilty.
We feel
Right,
guilty.
we feel guilty.
Yes.
We feel guilty.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you start to pray, God, like, show me my next location, show me my next environment, show me the people that I'm going to be surrounded with. And it's almost like the closing of a season. That season had come to an end. I had served my purpose at that brokerage, at that location. And as soon as I changed the environment, well, suddenly you're surrounded by like-minded individuals. People that you resonate with, people that are doing 10 times better than you, right? You don't want to be the smartest person in the room.
Right.
Yeah. I want to be around people that are closing multiple deals a month, where, there is no limit for them, where I have access to business partners like Daisy, and being able to foster new relationships and even opportunities like this, right? But it wouldn't have come had I stayed in the same environment.
Yeah. Empty office, no energy, it just, you made that change.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing. I'm sure all of us have done that. We've been at other places before. I know you have too, Daisy. And there's just, you have to make those adjustments, because if you don't, we'll die. We'll just
you certainly
stop
will.
growing.
You stop growing, you become stagnant, and that's one of my biggest fears. I mean, I'm sure it is for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But, being stagnant, kind of feeling like you're not progressing, like you're not moving backwards, but you're also still stuck in the same place.
Yeah.
And that's a scary place to be, because, it becomes very hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You start questioning, well, why am I even doing this?
Exactly.
Mindset goes down the drain. So there's a lot that comes with that, but you have to push through. You have to push through. I can't stress that enough to any, business owner, because there's going to be several times in your career where you have to pivot.
Yeah.
But it's, not only recognizing when that time comes, but actually acting on it.
Yeah, doing something about it.
Doing something about
it. And real, to kind of tag on to your thought there, is sometimes we are loyal to a fault, right? And then we feel bad, oh, I can't do this to the other people. Then you think about, wait a minute, what are they doing to invest in me?
Nothing.
And are they going to pay my bills and take care of my wife or our families, our future family? No, they're not. That's on me. So now I have to respectfully take my leave and say, I've got to do what's best for me.
Exactly.
And I think, well, I know all of us here in this room have done that.
Right.
And we may, hopefully we won't have to do it in the future, but if we do, at least we're prepared and we know, you know what, I've done it before. With prayer, I can do it again.
Yeah.
Right?
And I feel like there's a lot of controversy with that, because I hear a lot of other people like, oh, you shouldn't hire this agent because she's been in so many brokerages.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, maybe it didn't work out. Like, you don't know her story.
That's right.
And I feel like me personally, I've been through a few escrow companies, and it's something, because it gets to a point where other people start to ask, like, well, maybe you're the problem. You know what I mean? Maybe it's the other way around. But it's very kind of like, yes, but if you go somewhere, because I feel like when you enter a new brokerage or a new company, whatever it is, they paint the prettiest picture.
Sure do. Of course.
We're going to give you this, we're going to give you this salary, and we
All
have
the
this
promises.
and that, and you know what I mean? And then you're in there, you announce to your clients that, oh, I'm this new move, and we're going to do this, and blah, 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 and they don't follow through. And then a few months go by, and you're like, okay, maybe I have to earn my way into it or whatever, right? And still nothing. And it's like, okay, well, you guys didn't follow through, so why am I going to continue to be here? And then you leave. And it's like, well, you just told me that you were there, and now you're leaving. So what's going on there?
Yeah.
And it's almost like it sounds on the other end like you're making excuses. Well, it's because they told me this, and it's like, girl, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of controversy when it comes to like agents or even escrow or lenders going to different places. And it's like, well, let's kind of maybe put a pause on it and just kind of hear what their side is before because I feel like the industry can be a little
real judgy.
Sharky.
Judgy.
Very
Oh my gosh.
You can't say nothing around here.
No.
Come in a tight leash.
Yeah, that's your point is well taken there. And here's a question for you: why should people use Jaz in real estate? And I'm gonna get to you too, Daisy. Why should people use Daisy for escrow?
That's a great question. I believe that people should use me as their trusted real estate advisor because I am going to treat them like family. I always say you're not a one-time transaction. This is a lifelong relationship. You're not just a paycheck to me. When I say that, I invest blood, sweat, and tears into every transaction, every escrow, every experience. I know that I impact people in a way that's going to last much longer than a 30-day escrow because they can see it. I make myself accessible. I'm on their team. It's us against the other party. And every step of the way, I'm going to make sure that they have peace of mind and have reassurance that I'm going to not only exceed their expectations, but deliver on what I promised.
Mic drop. That's awesome.
One thing about me is I pray over everything, John, even the littlest things. I pray as soon as the client comes my way. I pray when we're out looking at houses. I pray when they're getting pre-approved. God, let them get pre-approved for the amount that they want. When we're making offers, the offer gets accepted. God, let it be a smooth escrow.
Right.
God, let them be blessed in this home for years to come. Let them have prosperity and growth in this home. And then, when you want well for others, that's going to come back to you tenfold.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's the mindset of a champion. Why specifically? What sets you apart? You got to use her. That's it. She will take amazing care of you.
Jaz is a great realtor in itself. Like, I think Jaz is a good person. I don't think I would be friends with Jaz on a personal level if I did not think that she was genuinely a good person.
Yeah.
But I've seen Jaz at an open house, on time and doing everything what she was supposed to be doing at the open house. And she kind of blew my mind because I feel like Jaz is one of the few agents that really takes her time to research the areas, but she does research on top of her research. Like, another agent came in, and I don't know if she was doing another open house or if she was looking for clients, I don't know. But she came in, and she referenced another property. Oh, yeah, this property. She's like, oh, yeah, on this street, going for X amount of money, that had 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, and 2,000. I was like,
yeah, that one.
I was like, how do you know
do.
your property and
Yeah.
all the other like properties on the, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't have that memory to where I can name the exact things on other properties.
Right.
But that's when I saw Jaz. I was like, wow, like Jaz is very like intelligent. Like she knows what she's doing and she knows what she's talking about.
Mhm.
So there's been times where I've had like maybe some leads and I'm like, Jaz, like she's
Yeah.
the first person I go to. So I don't mean to like to her horn, but I told her this before. Like
Yeah.
she is genuinely a good agent.
Thank you, Daisy.
That's incredible.
I appreciate that so much.
Now
Thank
toot
you.
yours. Why should people use the Escrow House, Daisy?
You know, I think people use me, kind of what you touched on earlier, John, is I kind of just connect with people. Like,
Yeah.
and I think, you know, in my earlier days, I tried to be someone that I wasn't coming into the
Mhm.
industry. You know, you see all these flashy cars and all these flashy things, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought you had to be flashy, and you had to speak a certain
Right.
way, and you had to
Mhm.
talk a certain way, and, you know, shop at a certain store.
Right.
And it wasn't until I kind of let go and I was like, you know what, like I'm just going to be who I am. I'm goofy, I'm silly, I'm girly, I'm, you know, authentic. And I think once I started actually being me and kind of being like goofy and kind of just being myself,
Yeah.
people resonated with me
Mhm.
on different levels, whether it was personally or professionally. And people want to work with who they trust and who they like.
Yes.
So I would say that, you know, just being me, and I feel like when I meet a client, I try to make it known I'm on your team. I'm here to make you look good, to make your clients look good. I make myself available to my clients.
Yeah.
You know, I have learned recently that I do have to kind of like what Jaz said, like I'm not going to be available until
Set
this
some
time.
boundaries. Yeah.
Yes.
Because there are people that call me at 7 a.m.
Right.
or, you know, at 11, you know, p.m. And if it's an emergency, yeah, you know, of
Sure.
course, you know, maybe send me a text, don't call me.
Yeah.
But I make myself very accessible to them. I support them. I go to their open houses. I go to their team meetings. I have clients in Oceanside. I have clients in, you know, Palm Springs, and I make the drive out there. I'm like, dang, dude, I'm gonna spend all day, you know, 2 hours there,
Right.
2 hours
Right.
being there,
That's
another maybe
that's
2.5,
commitment.
3 hours on my way back. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm like, dang, like that's a whole drive. You know, but they're my clients and they take
Yeah.
good care of me and they open multiple deals a month and they're not greedy. You know, some agents can be greedy.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, girl.
That's
Not
a
you, but-
conversation in
Let's-
itself. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I have to go. So I feel like they see that I show up for them.
Mhm.
And I think that's important to show up for the people that show up for you.
That's
So
that's
important.
incredible. Yeah. And that's really, again, getting back to the purpose of this podcast is to feature both of you, to show why people should work with a champion like yourself. Thousands of realtors to choose from, lots of escrow people, lenders included in that. There's a lot of us. But
Why should
when
we
it
work
comes
with
to
you,
that-
John?
Oh!
Toot your horn too!
Brainer! Oh my goodness. Number one, I always answer my phone.
You do.
I always
Yes,
answer
you
my
do.
phone, even if I'm on another line, on a Zoom call, or if it's later in the evening hours, I will either shoot a text, say, hey, I'm on the other line. I will say something.
Yes.
I did a whole little podcast on that.
Yeah.
Well, not a podcast. It
Little
was just
reel, I
a
think.
reel.
Yeah.
That said,
Yeah.
it's called Say Something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you call me, I know it's important.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's not, hey, John, how you doing today? You know, everything.
Right.
Jazz, what can I help you? I know you're,
Calling for a
you know,
reason.
yes, something serious.
Let's get through the pleasantries.
Yeah, we get through that. That's good, but I know something's important to you.
Yeah.
Right.
So responsiveness, and I teach my whole team that. Respond, say something. The other thing is, as far as speed solves everything.
Oh, yeah.
Time kills deals.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, and I know you see this in your business, is, again, responsiveness, but you are making promises to your clients to say, you know, we're going to close this in 21 days, or we're going to close this in 18 days, whatever it is. You need to have that reassurance, we can do that. And when I work with Daisy, we know, okay, this one's a quick one. We got to turn this one even faster because of whatever.
But do you
And
see
we
how you
do.
have clear communication on that?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what a lot of people miss in relationships in general is the clear communication. So if you
Yes.
don't tell me or you don't tell anyone else, how are we going to know you're in a rush?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the client gets upset, and then and it's like, well, hold on, because you didn't tell us that you were on a time frame.
Yeah.
So I think you do have a good point as far as like respond, but I think the communication, you also have that. You and your team have that as well, John.
Yeah, it's really important. And, I like to dive a little deeper because yourself, Jazz, or perhaps maybe the seller's agent might say, the reason for us closing faster, the seller's going to have surgery. Or they're leaving the country.
Right.
Or whatever the reason is. I like to share
what's
that.
that transition where like they're depending on the close to
Contingent.
Contingency.
That.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's nice for all of us to understand that, communicate. Our team does a great job with that. The other thing we do, both of you have mentioned this, I love it, professionally and personally. What we do is we invest both personally and professionally in our partners. And Daisy, you've experienced that. We not only bring people on our podcast to showcase them, but then we take them out with us to the number one lender in the country, which is UWM. United Wholesale Mortgage, the company that most agents I find have never heard of. If you say Rocket, they're like, oh yeah, I know Rocket. I've heard of Rocket because they advertise all over the place. Rocket's number 2 in the nation. I hate it. UWM's number 1. And they're both in Michigan. And what we do is we pay for your flights, your hotel, all your food, rental cars, everything to go out there on a very short trip.
It was great, by the way.
Yes,
Done it twice.
It was.
It was very nice to be. John and his team were probably the only man till this day to cater to a whole. I was like, you guys gonna pay for my food, my flight, and my.
Yep.
Heck yeah, let's go.
The whole
Sign me
thing.
up.
And the purpose of it is because nobody goes to Pontiac, Michigan for vacation. Okay, we just
Right.
don't. No, there's nothing there. But there's 9,400 people that work back there at UWM, from underwriting teams, you name it. That where we can put our mouth forward and say, I can close this in 14 days because I got a team behind me of 9,400 people.
Right.
But we want you to see that. And we have a one-day realtor class back there where mindset, marketing, new loan programs are coming out first before anybody else hears about it. You hear it right there. And you get to network with hundreds of realtors and builders from all over the country. And so the idea is to leave our families for just a short period of time. 'Cause we don't want to be away from our families. We leave on a Tuesday. Class, we have a nice team dinner Tuesday night. Wednesday is an all-day class, tour and all this stuff. Team dinner ends up with a little mix and mingle cocktail party at the end. Next morning, we're on a plane right back into Orange County here, and we get back in about 10:30 in the morning. So it's quick, but there's a purpose to it. And you come back with all these little nuggets of
Yes.
how do I grow my business? How do I grow myself? Personally, you've grown just by being there and picking the brain of other people that maybe have either just started, sometimes they got some nuggets, or longtime people. So that's another thing that really sets us apart is we spend a lot of time making sure we educate and help our partners grow their business. I rarely ask people for business. I don't need to because my approach to them when I call you, I say, hey Jazz, how you doing today? I'm doing great, John. What's going on? Just checking to see what I can help to grow your business today. You got an open house this weekend you need help with? Need any co-branded marketing materials? Do you have anything that you're trying to promote that we can help you with?
John, do you do open houses?
I do.
Oh, okay.
And my whole team does.
Okay.
Yeah, some need Spanish speaking, so I'll send my Spanish speaking people
Right.
there. Even though Rodriguez, no hablo español. So sad. Oh man, it's bad. So thankfully I have support team that can do all of that.
Yes.
The other thing we
so
do
funny.
too is, because I have a lot of business in Texas as well. So I do a lot of virtual open houses as well.
Oh,
Because I
wow.
can't
What?
personally be there. So what we do, since we have this fancy device, my realtor knows, and I'll be on call, or one of my other partners will be on call, my other teammates, and buyer walks in, hey, I want to know about the rates today. What's my monthly payment? No problem. Jazz says, let me call John real quick. Video call. Hey, John, I'd like you to meet Daisy. She has a few questions about what her monthly payment. Oh, no problem. Hey, I'm so sorry I couldn't be there in person today, but I wanted to make sure I supported you.
That's
Purchase
cool,
price is
John.
what-
I've never heard that before. for?
Most people don't do it.
Wow.
But it's what sets us apart.
So then,
because we
John, let
offer
me
that.
ask you a question.
Yeah.
When you like work with people outside of California,
Mhm.
do you ever get pushback like, "Oh, I don't really want to work with a lender that's outside. Like, why are we working?" Because that's kind of
Yeah.
where I thought of. We're looking to branch out as well,
Mhm.
and I'm already thinking, how am I gonna get over the obstacle of I don't want to use an escrow that's in California. Why can't we use one that's already in Oregon? Why, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what is your, if you get that pushback, how do you overcome it?
Yeah, I think, and that's such a valid question. I think the main thing that helps us overcome that is, number one, I stay in touch with them every week, if not every couple days, via video. So we see each other's faces, but every single one of my partners, I have about, I'd say about 30, 35 partners out in Texas that I work with, various shops from El Paso, San Antonio, Dallas, Austin, Houston.
That are
all the-
also iFinance?
No, that
Oh.
are realtor shops.
Oh, okay, got
Yeah,
it.
realtor
Okay.
shops out there. And so how I stay in touch with them, every single one of them has been back to UWM with me. So I've met them in person.
Right.
We actually fly out there as well, and we'll do special, like we did like a lunch and learn, and we'll visit different shops while we're out there. So personal attention. These are things that what we're finding from their feedback, lenders are not giving. There's loan officer who sits, a typical loan officer at a bank sits back in his desk, waits for deals to come to them, right? Yes, I'm licensed as a loan officer, but I don't call myself that. You won't even see that on my email. I'm a loan advisor. People need advisors. Advisors go into the field.
Yeah.
We go out to the people. We go out to our realtors. And like I say, we do a lot of virtual things with my realtor partners out there so they feel connected. We take them out and visit them, and we go visit them in person. So it's doing the things that others have not been willing to do.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard that.
And
I haven't
it really
heard that.
has,
That's really cool.
I would say honestly, about 90% of my business is Texas.
Wow.
Because I've
That's
focused on
amazing.
Texas.
Yeah.
The majority of my team who are California licensed, I mentor them and give them most of the California business so they can feed their families. And I shepherd every single deal personally. And then there's a few I'll take personally. Certain agents say, I only want you. Then you got me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's
Okay.
what we're doing.
That's good to know, John.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been working really well. And maybe one of these times what I can do is have both of you sit in with me when we do some of our broker workshops in Texas. And I'll just
Yeah.
invite you guys on as guests, part of our team. And you can see, like, I'll invite Joe too to come, but I'll also invite some top executives from UWM to join us on the Zoom call.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Now you're getting the number one lender in the country and their executive coming in to talk about. So it's kind of cool. Most lenders aren't doing
Yeah,
that stuff.
no, they're not.
Sitting there waiting for the business. And
Yep.
I'm like, nope, we're going to go get it.
Yep.
Speaking of lenders not willing to go the extra mile, you were talking about being on FaceTimes out of the state. Forget that. I can't even get a phone call like the one you mentioned earlier, just calling up your agent partners and saying, how can I be of service? You know, it's just the little things. And I do have other partners that,
Sure.
you know, check in. And I know Daisy's really good about that. I
Oh,
always
yeah.
get a monthly text from her with a little gift.
Yes, yes.
But, you know, or I'll get something like from my title rep. But
Yeah.
there's something about...
Who is your title rep? Who do you use? Oh, do you still use Brandon?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Shout out to Brandon Roach.
Good, okay. Yeah, I've talked to Brandon.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
you know
Yes,
Brandon.
shout out to Brandon. But there's just something about the lender-agent relationship.
Yeah.
I always say I'm already chasing the client. I'm not going to chase the lender too.
Nor should you have to.
I should not have to, you
That's kind of
know.
weird. You would think that, oh, you have a buyer and you're ready, like, let me be extra attentive to you.
And even
Yes.
during the
That's weird.
process.
Even
Why
during
should you
the
have to call and
process.
say, hey, how are we doing with that appraisal? Hey, how we... They should be coming to you saying,
Wow.
this, and that. Here's
Yes,
the timeline. We're
yes.
expecting this. We're just waiting on this. Just wanted to keep you informed.
I should be boots on the ground to be prospecting for new business so I can continue to feed you as well. And, I'm not saying all lenders. There's
some great ones.
so many great lenders
Yeah.
out there. But, throughout the years, you kind of, go through different lenders and
Yeah.
you try to figure out who's a good fit and who's
Yeah.
not. Even personality types.
Mm-hmm.
Personality types, work
Matters.
habits, we
Yeah.
may not mesh together.
Work habits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because one
All
thing about
matters.
me is I treat everything with a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Everything. It must get done.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just, if I'm the one bringing the business to you, then you should treat it like it's yours.
100%, because it's your
Because it
reputation.
is kind of.
And we are a reflection of one another. My lender
Yeah.
is a reflection of me and
Yes.
vice versa.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's, this guy like some real tail bumps there, because it's the way it should be. It's the way it should be. I assume everybody does things the way you two do, right? And it's just not the reality.
That's a nice assumption, John.
Yeah, right? Because I'm trying to be nice to everybody, but at the end of the day, so many people have different work ethic,
Yeah.
attitudes. Some sit back for business. Others are. I gave a little mentor thing to this broker shop out in, I think it was in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And my theme was be an outside cat. Right? And you can picture kind of the difference between an inside cat and an outside
For
cat.
sure.
Right? And they all, I was watching them on Zoom, and they were all just like staring at me. Like, I'm like, are they liking this? Are they not? And afterwards, they were like, nobody's ever told us this stuff and spoke to it. I go, it's 101. It's realtor stuff 101. You should be out there prospecting for the business. Be that outside cat. Go out and be hungry. Get business. Get business moving. Get your phones ringing. Talk to people. Pump gas. Hey, how you doing today? Having a great day. It's beautiful out today, isn't it? Have conversations with people.
Yeah.
Get out of your office space sometimes and go out to Starbucks or a park. Work where people are at. Talk
Exactly.
to people. So it's just it's a different mentality that us champions have because we care
Yes.
about people and we want our partners to surround us so that we all can take care of that. We call them family of clients as well. They become our family.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah. Well,
Because also, if you cater
Yep.
to them, you don't know. Maybe also later down the line, their kids, their nephews, their whatever. You
Absolutely.
continue to cater, and because I feel like sometimes, you have two realtors. You can tell when they're catering to you just
Yeah.
because they want the deal.
right. Oh, yeah.
People can tell.
Feel it.
And then you have, an agent like Jazz where it's like, I am getting, a check from you, but it's not just that. I know that you buying a home or selling a home is an important decision, and, but it's like, if people see that you're being genuine and you do continue to cater to them, when they hear of a friend, a coworker, a family relative is looking to buy or sell, they're going to think of you and they're going to be like, you know what? Jazz took good care of me. She helped me. She informed me. She helped me stay calm.
Yes.
X, Y, and Z. I'm going to go ahead and give her a call. And I've seen a lot of agents have multiple deals from just one family.
Right? Yeah.
So yeah, it's important to cater and to make sure that people see that you care about them, not just in a transaction.
They care about how they feel, the experience. That's what they're going to tell people. They're not going to tell, most of them are not going to say, oh, yeah, they made the document super simple. This and, no, it's how they felt about
It's
they were being
true.
treated.
It's true,
you know?
John. People will forget what you said, but they will not forget how you made them feel.
Absolutely. One last question for you. To be successful, what advice would you have for other realtors that might even be looking to take that leap of faith? What advice would you have for others to be successful as we launch into 2026?
As cliche as it sounds, the number one advice I would give to an agent that's trying to launch their career in 2026 is to never give up.
It's not cliche. That is powerful.
Never give up. It's impossible. We are living in a time where there is an endless amount of resources. People have gone before us and done the same thing. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. It's just about, are you interested or are you committed? Bet on yourself. It'll be the best decision you ever make. Just go all in. Go
It's
all in and
investment.
see what happens. How could you fail? You can't. So I would advise everyone to just never, ever give up. As long as you are given another day to wake up, that's another opportunity to go chase after the dream and to continue to fulfill your purpose.
I love that. Thank you. Daisy, what about for you?
I would say mine is pretty cliche too. I would say just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it, because if you don't do it, you're always going to have that what if.
Yeah.
Why would you want to have that what if? When you're 50-something, what would my life have been if I would have jumped off that cliff? If I would
Yes.
have done real estate full time?
Mhm.
You know, like, so, and if you, because we can't guarantee a positive outcome every time we jump
Right.
off the cliff, right?
No.
We're going to sometimes fall into a nice puffy little cloud, and sometimes we're going to literally smack ourselves on the hard ocean, like,
Yeah.
you know? But if you do fail, you know, you can either decide to, okay, I'm not going to go this route because X, Y, this is what I learned and I didn't like about this career, and I'm going to maybe try another thing. Or, you know what, I learned from this. I'm going to take what I learned and I'm going to adjust it and I'm going to fix it and I'm going to try it again. You know, because a lot of people have failed. A lot of people were told no. A lot of people were told, you can't do this. You're not good enough for this. You're not pretty enough for this. You don't have, you know, all these things. And then next thing you know, you see them, I don't know, I was like one of the most famous designers. I don't know if it's Dior or someone told them no, I don't know how many times. And now look at them. People are paying $10,000 for a freaking bag.
I
Are you
know.
joking? Like,
I
please,
know.
you know? So it's like, just do it, take the risk. You know, a lot of people have a lot of opinions.
Yes.
So many people are so quick to have an opinion on your life, but when you need something, it's like,
Now where are they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, but you had an opinion when I was doing this, but now when I need your help or I need something, you're nowhere to be found. At the end of the day, people are doing what they need to do in their life,
That's right.
so do what you need to do in your life.
Exactly.
No one else is paying your bills.
That's-
No one else is going to make it for you. Again, if you don't do it, no one else is going to do it. So just do it.
Exactly.
That's right.
So
I love it. You might owe Nike some money. I don't know. Maybe they should pay you.
Get you a
advertisement.
sponsorship.
I know.
That's great. Well, both of you, grateful, super thankful. Jazz, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, John.
Daisy, thank you for coming back to
Of
and the
course,
introduction to
John.
Jazz
Yes.
too. Really appreciate it, and wish you both nothing but major success as you
Thank
help
you.
more families realize their American dream as we push through 26 and beyond. It's going to be awesome.
26
Yes.
already.
And
wow.
likewise, the same for you, John.
Yes,
Thank you.
John.
Thank you so much.
So